Is this thing on? Hello? Kidding. Hello people of Canada from Japan again. I would like to apologize for being the worst blogger in the entire world, just because it gets so busy and I honestly have no time to do anything. Since I've last blogged, I have done a crazy amount. My last blog I think was around my 12th day and now I'm over 40. So I've done so much stuff, it's crazy. I mean, for starters, I started school. I go to school every morning and I wake up at about 6 o'clock and I get on the bus for 7:10. Then I go to class and I have 7 classes a day and an hour lunch, so this adds up to 8 hours. School is school. I mean, I don't think any exchange student really enjoys it, but I go, I'm required to, so I do go. I study my Japanese. I've gotten a few textbooks, a lot of them are in my backpack. I have kanji textbooks, I have vocab textbooks. I'm gonna try to get a grammar textbook because it doesn't really help knowing the vocabulary if you can't make a sentence, or if you don't know the order of where to place your words. I could have the whole entire vocab memorized and you wouldn't be able to understand me because I can't even make a sentence. So yes, I feel like I have improved a lot in my Japanese though since being here. I'm able to understand a lot more. Don't get me wrong, 80% of what you're saying I probably can't understand still, but not you, but Japanese speakers. I feel like I have improved a lot. I do have a lot of work to go. I start Japanese lessons on October 5th, I think. Yeah, so 2 nights a week I'm going to be doing Japanese lessons, and apparently those help a lot. You get other textbooks there as well, so I'm looking forward to that as well. You know, today I went for lunch with my 3 future host families and my present host family, and it really made me realize how much my Japanese sucks. They'd be asking me questions and I would know certain words, but I couldn't help but just stare at them, just like, I don't know. It really made me realize how much studying I still have yet to do. Don't get me wrong, I'm studying a lot, but to self-teach yourself one of the hardest languages in the world is a pretty hard thing to do. Yes, I'm immersed here, but it's just, I don't know, it's very challenging. After school, I actually joined track and field. So they meet 6 nights a week, but because of my lessons and also because I'm an exchange student, I asked them if I could just go 3 days a week. So I'm just going Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. But I do need to go out and experience and hang out with my friends and do other things than just track and field. That's not why I'm here. I did meet a lot of friends though on my team, and we've already went to like a track meet and everyone got bracelets. A girl on my team made everyone bracelets, and she even made me one, and it came in a cute little baggie that said my name in katakana on the bottom. So I felt very, very part of the family, which was very good. Oh. Actually, 2 weekends ago, I went to Osaka and I went to Kyoto with my host family. They took me. We trained down early in the morning. We got up at about 5:30. My host dad drove down, so we would have a car also to drive back with. We went to Universal Studios and we went to Harry Potter, and it was amazing. Like, it was so cool. Like, I'm obsessed with Harry Potter. If you don't know that, I love Harry Potter. Read all the books, watched all the movies. Like, I'm obsessed. So when I went, I actually have up there, I bought a chocolate frog. And I also bought Birdie Bots, the every flavor beans. Some of my exchange friends and I, we just ate them and guessed the flavor after we ate them. And there's some really gross ones like rotten egg and vomit. And I was fortunate enough to not get any of those. But there's some pretty nasty ones. That was a lot of fun. So we went to Harry Potter, we went on a few rides, and I got very motion sick that day. I don't know why. I guess because they don't have a lot of rides there. They have more of those like virtual things where you sit in the seat and you get taken around. I don't know, it's like the picture changes in front of you, and those make me so crazy sick. I can do the roller coasters easy and I don't get that motion sick, but these things, we did like 7 of them, and by the end of the day I was like, I can't go on anymore because I feel so motion sick. But that night after, we went back to the hotel and then we went up for dinner. I think we went to okonomiyaki. It's like a pancake made of like vegetables and shrimp and just everything, and it's really good. And you put like, they put mayo and this other brown dressing, I don't even know what it is. And then we had soba noodles, so it was really good. Next day we went to the aquarium, which is fun, and we went to visit 2 temples. The first one was a golden temple, it's famous in Kyoto, which is very, very neat. And then my second one we went to is my favorite part of the entire day. It was in a very remote area. We had to drive pretty far to get to it, and it was just where it was. So we were standing in a little like village town that was just surrounded by mountains around us. They were just surrounded by mountains. And we went up, we walked a little bit up to the first mountain, and we got to like a small little temple, and I was like, oh, this is really pretty, like I really like this. And they're like, this isn't the temple. The temple's up there. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so it was a really far walk up the mountain. It wasn't just so much up the mountain, but it was more like zigzagging across, so just like a lot of stairs. But when we got to the top, it was beautiful. Call me lame, I don't know, call me whatever you want to call me, but I felt so connected just to the nature, and I felt so free, and the air was clean and just everything, and I felt so relaxed and at peace, and just, I don't know, it was a really nice time. So I just reflected when I was up there. Then again, we went to dinner that night, and we did some shopping, and then we went home the next day. I love my host family, like I love them so much. I'll talk a little bit about my friends here again. I've become really, really close with the exchange students. I know when I last made the video, I think I've met them just like 3 times or 4, but now we've really, every weekend we hang out and we do new things. We still do karaoke a lot, like that's not a question. It's not a hangout session unless you do karaoke, is what we say. These people, I don't know why I'm saying these people, I mean my friends, are so amazing. I love Japan and I love being here, but they make the experience so much easier. Because I'm not gonna lie, you have some hard days, you do have hard days. I'm not gonna say I've been necessarily homesick, but there are days definitely when you miss even Canada as a whole. And it's hard not to. I know before they left they said don't relate anything in your host country to your home country. But it's really hard to do, you know. Sometimes when you're at school, you're like, wow, like this is really different from Canada. I mean, in every class you stand up, you bow to the teacher, and you sit down, and at the end of every class you stand up, you bow to the teacher, and at the beginning you say, onegaishimasu, and at the beginning you say, arigatou gozaimashita. So it's hard not to compare. I'm still getting used to a lot of stuff here. I know, like I said, I have been here for almost 2 months, but 2 months isn't enough to adapt to a whole new society and a whole new like culture. Just what's acceptable and what's not acceptable is totally different, and just even little things, just before you enter change room you have to take off your shoes. That's not one of the major things, but just, I don't know, it's just very there are some hard days, but that's where the character building takes place, and that's where growing as a person takes place. I feel like I have already grown so much as a person and matured as a person, which sounds so cliche. I've been here for so short amount of time, but when you're put in the position to be by yourself and fend for yourself, yes, I have my host mother and my host father who are a really big help and definitely do drive me a few places or make my dinner and my lunch, but just from the perspective of truly being by yourself, you do mature a lot. And I know, don't be like, you've been here 2 months, you don't know anything, but no, it's just, I'm already much more appreciative of what I had back in Canada. I'm gonna say that for 100%, and I feel like I definitely have already matured as a person, and I'm not done, you know. I have 9-10 months left, so we have a long time left for me to still continue to grow and blossom. So, but back to my exchange friends. Like I said, there are hard days, so just hanging out with them sometimes it's just like an escape, you know? They really serve a purpose in my life here, and I love them. And we hang out, we go to places, like we buy crepes, we go to cafes, we go to the old Higashi district of Kanazawa, and we have matcha tea. And I know I'm just listing all the food we eat, but I promise we do more. This last Tuesday we didn't have school because it was the first day of autumn, so what we did, we went down to the river and we just skipped stones and listened to music for like an hour, and that was amazing. Everything, we're a family, and I love them a lot, so that's really good. I don't know what else to say. I feel like I should blog more often because I often lose the in-between periods, and I know I did so much, but everything's just kind of... I'm still writing in my diary every day, believe it or not, so I could go back to that, but I don't want to bore you guys too much. I did just want to update you guys. I'm going to try to blog more, I promise, I promise. Also try to keep updated because I hope you guys enjoy these videos. I hope you want to know what I'm doing, so again, until next time, sayonara.